my channel. I'm Amanda and we are here with a video all about fibromyalgia. I just wanted to point out a few things on what it was about, but while telling my story of how I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia and my experiences with it. I have got another video where I explain 10 tips that could help you if you do have fibromyalgia, and this video is just basically to raise awareness for it because it's an illness that a lot of doctors don't know about or are unsure, and it's an illness that doctors seem to diagnose you with if they can't find out what else is wrong with you. So my top 10 tips will help you discover if you do have it or not. No, not really, I don't know. I'm not a professional doctor or anything, so I'm just going to tell you my experiences. This might not happen to you. If it does, you might not have fibromyalgia, so don't worry about it. But if you're unsure, go to your doctor. I really do recommend going to your doctor to make sure that there's nothing else wrong with you so that you can get a cure for that, because I don't think there is a cure for fibromyalgia. There's a couple of tablets for it and stuff like that, but I don't think that this is the cure for fibromyalgia. So my story begins at the age of 12. I was really ill. I thought it was just due to stress at school. Just going into academy, I started it later at 12-year-old. I was passing out all the time. I was always extremely tired and my ribs hurt constantly. You couldn't even like prod me like this and they would hurt, and they still do to this day. So that is a little effect from it, but we'll continue on with my story. We will get to what fibromyalgia is in a minute. Oh, also I had difficulty with pain while I was sleeping as well, so I had trouble sleeping a lot of the time. So during this time my parents thought that it was to do with me not eating properly or not taking care of myself, not getting enough sleep, and they just thought that I didn't have enough energy and so on, so they just put it down to that and told me to eat more, because usually when I was going to school I got up at like 8 o'clock and I had to leave the house by 8:05, so I would have a shower in the night time though, so don't worry about that. I was hygienic, but I just didn't eat anything before I went to school, and at lunchtime I usually skipped it. I would just have a like chocolate bar or something like that. I was really unhealthy when I was a little girl, so because I was so unhealthy in the way that I was living, they just put it down to that. But my mum had the same condition, so she had fibromyalgia. She was diagnosed with it quite early on, and eventually she was convinced that I had it as well. Now she was really bad with it. Sometimes for months she couldn't do anything, and I had to wash her hair for her. I had to take care of her, so it was really bad. Also, I had really bad anxiety and memory loss, so I couldn't remember anything that happened when I was a child, like earlier on in the stages of me being a child. If you asked me what I had for my dinner the night before, I wouldn't be able to tell you. My memory is still that bad. The doctors must have been sick of seeing me though, because I had plenty of blood tests and x-rays and scans and nutritionists, everything, but nothing came back saying what I had. Eventually, at the age of 15, they put it down to depression, and I was put on antidepressants, and I was on them for a good 4 or 5 years. They also put me on the pill. They said that the pill would help with anxiety and depression as well. So I wasn't taking it for contraceptive. I was just taking it for whatever was going on in my body. But obviously that did not help. So then a couple of years went past, and at the age of 18, my granddad was diagnosed with TB in his neck. He had a boil the size of his face and it was on his neck. So we all had to get tested for TB because we were living with him. And if you live with somebody that has TB, there's a percentage of a chance that you might have it as well. So me, my brother, my dad and my mum all got tested for it, and they came back fine, but guess who got the lump on their arm to say that they had it? So it was me. I had it. This was when I was 18, so it wasn't actually TB though, don't worry, I'm okay. It was latent TB, so that means that the cells of the virus were in my body waiting to be activated at any point in time. So they thought that all of my past illnesses was to do with me having latent TB, because this wasn't to do with my granda. It had always been there. They had just never caught it, even though I did have the JAG before, but it came back fine. So they thought that my TB was getting activated in certain stressful points in my life, and that was why I was so ill. So I got put on 6 months worth of tablets, and then I was right as rain again. Finally, at the age of 22, after being ill for 12 years or something, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia / chronic fatigue syndrome. And in a way I was really happy, because I knew that it was that and I just wanted confirmation from the doctor. But I was even more happy because I knew how to deal with it, because of the way that my mum had been dealing with it, and she's much better now. She even works, which she couldn't do for a long time. And it just meant that I knew what to do, and I had a lot of help from this book as well. Unfortunately, I don't have it. I tried to ask my mum for it, but she says she can't find it. But if you go on Amazon and type chronic fatigue fibromyalgia book or something like that, self-help book or whatever, loads of them will come up, and most of them say the same things, and they are really helpful as well. So I do recommend getting books on it and researching it. Do your own research. So that was when I was given a 3-month trial to go to the gym and do a workout every day for an hour. I went every second day, so I went about 3 or 4 times a week, and I did a really light workout. So I did the bike for a little bit, and then I did the stepping thing, and then I did the treadmill, and I was just walking on the treadmill. I was just gliding really slowly on everything and doing like arm push-ups and stuff like that, because I am really weak. And I felt great. I was losing a little bit of weight, but I wasn't there to lose weight. I was there just to help regulate my bones and stuff like that, and that really did help. So fibromyalgia basically is a condition that affects your bones, and it affects your memory, like I said, anxiety, and you feel really, really tired all the time, and it gives you pain. So chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia are sometimes linked. People think it's the same thing, but actually it's not. Fibromyalgia is more of, you have all the same symptoms as chronic fatigue, but there's pain added in. So when you wake up in the morning, your bones could be really, really sore. It's really hard to explain, but your muscles and your bones just feel like they don't want to move. You feel really stiff, and you can't move, and you just feel like crap a lot of the time. But there could be a whole month or a whole 2 months or however long you want to go for that you feel perfectly fine, just like a normal person, and then suddenly, bam, you have all of the condition symptoms at once. So it's a really, really hard illness to diagnose, because there's a lot of things that go along with fibromyalgia that could be related to other diseases or other illnesses, and it's really, really painful to live with. It's really hard to motivate yourself to get up in the day and just do things, but honestly, it helps. I hope this video was somewhat informative for you guys, and please share it, because I would like this video to go, not viral, but what am I saying? I would like this video to be shared so that other people can figure out what it is and hear it, and maybe if they're worried about it, they can go to the doctor about it as well. I know there's plenty of other videos about this condition, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I hate that phrase. I wanted to give my opinions and my stories on it as well. So I hope it helped. Please go on over to my other video where it says that there's 10 facts, or no, 10 things to help live with fibromyalgia, or whatever it's called. I'll link it in the description below and on the card up there, or up there, whatever side it's at. And if you have fibromyalgia, then maybe that will help you figure out how to deal with it yourself. And yeah, that is my video. I hope that it made sense. I did try and write it down and read from a script so that it wasn't too jumbled, because my mind is a mess. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye guys. So I'm going to tell you 10 tips, I think, on how to deal with it. I want to do a little disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I am not a professional. I am just going by my experiences and my mum's experiences because she has it as well. I have it. I'm going to tell you a story about how I got diagnosed with it and how I found out that I had it, but not in this video. This video is just all about the tips.